Welcome, 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 guys. It is True and Chat with Yana Lou. Thank you for coming back to the show. I really, really appreciate it. Love you. Mwah. I miss you much. Well, you know I have scrumptious guests. If you don't know, the True and Chat with Yana Lou show is to put the spotlight on the next who's who and push people toward their goals and dreams. Guys, we have a wonderful night tonight. We have a beautiful young lady, Queen. She is going to come on tonight and speaking for her, from her area of age, talking about, being a celebrity at a young age, getting ready to kick off her, y'all, I'm having a mind blur.
Career.
And don't erase it, because Yana like being raw. Don't erase it. I had a mind blur. But we're going to interview this young lady, talking to her about being inspired, about getting into the movies, talking about her goals and her dreams, and moving herself forward toward that and the doors that's going to be open to her. So we have her in a movie coming up. It's a short. It's about, I'll tell you in a little bit. But then other than that, we have another guest. That's right. We have another guest, guys. Another guest we're putting the spotlight on is Mad Cre8tions. Can we start that over? That's like full of shit. This is the first time I ever fucking started something over. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
They shop kids.
I should have been on my meds. I'm sorry, I'm off my meds. Just start it over really quick.
She was looking at you like, what?
You grew up in the shop.
That's why she looked at you like, what happened?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So let's go. I'll just start here and you just pick it up. Welcome, guys. Thank you for coming back to Chew and Chat with Yana Lou. It is awesome. I'm so happy. We have some fabulous guests down here. We have Mad Cre8tions, and that's MADCRE8. Tion, all right? Mad Cre8tion, and it's going to dive into the cars and how wonderful they are, how they put them together, how they got these cars, because he's only working on select cars, and his business is amazing. The type of work that he does to these cars, I'm telling you, it's phenomenal. So if you have an upscale car, a Ferrari, a Bugatti, and all those things, darling, please get it on over to Mad Cre8tion. We also have Miss Queen herself. She is a young lady coming down here talking from her standpoint of youth about how to get out here and be motivated in your dreams and your goals and diving into the thing that she loves, which is, coming into the entertainment sector. She's going to be one of the hot actresses that we're going to use into our movies, and we're going to film her in a short here about abortion and young people getting pregnant, but yet having the awareness of what it is. So please patronize us. Go get your t-shirts, go get your man, go get your woman, and all your footies and gumdrops, and come back live 5 with Yana Lou and Justify. Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you. It is the Yana Lou with Chew and Chat, and we have some scrumptious guests like I told you before we went on break. We have Mad Cre8tions down here, and we also have another young lady named Miss Queen, and she is fabulous. We love to put the spotlight on the next who's who. So instead of us talking about that and repeating everything, let's dive into Mad Cre8tions, honey. This company is amazing. Hey, Con.
How you doing?
Very nice to have you, Con. I love Con and his family. Hey, Yanni on the spot. Guys, this company here is an awesome company. They basically take your car, they remodel it, they refurbish it, they do everything to it, they fix it, they rebuild it, and they put the bling bling. And I love the fact that y'all rapping stuff. So tell us, Con, let's talk about, what you do down there, and tell us about Mad Cre8tions, how Mad Cre8tions came about, and where the number 8 came from. Who got jiggy with it and put that 8 up in there?
Okay, so Mad Cre8tions, I actually came up with the name of Mad Cre8tions with my father about 19 years ago. So to backtrack real quick, I'm the 3rd generation Black business owner, and I like to kind of talk about that a lot because it was brought up being told that that's what I was going to do. My grandfather started a shop in Birmingham, Bessemer, Alabama.
Okay.
He immigrated to the country from Trinidad, and he was in the diesel mechanic industry. So he was a diesel mechanic working on like trucks and things like that.
Yeah.
So he opened a shop, bought some land right off the 20 south of Bessemer.
Okay.
And him and my dad actually built the property. They built the house and built a shop that you could pull 2 18-wheelers inside the shop. This is before I was born. This is the 70s. So that
Good years, y'all.
so the idea was that when they had the first generation born in America, which ultimately ended up being me, I would have something already, the American dream. You know, basically I was that American dream. They were kind of having these forethoughts to let's do this now, let's set it up for him. So when I got of age and I was a little kid, you know, 5, 6, 7, they started sending me every summer down to the shop.
Yeah.
So just grew up in and around cars, and then when I kind of got of age where I decided I wanted to open my own shop, I was coming up with a name, and I got out of the mechanic side of it, and I kind of like to create things. Like I was just always taking things apart and redoing
Like
it.
that beautiful wife of yours.
Yeah, I just like to create things, so I would just always I was taking the power wheels apart, trying to make it faster. I was taking this apart, trying to make it, you know, better. So, you know, then being Caribbean, you know, everything is like, yeah, that's mud. You know, you say, well, that's mud, that's mud, that's crazy. Mad means crazy, right?
Right.
And then the mad scientist, I got called the mad scientist as a kid doing just crazy stuff. So we just came up with the name Mad Creations, and my dad was like, when I said it, he was like, yeah, I like it.
That was it.
That was it. That was it. We were talking a bunch of names, we were just throwing them back and forth, and I said Mad Creations, like, that's the one. He said, that's the one, pick it, that's the one.
You're
And we
mad,
ran with it.
man. You're mad, man.
That's the one. That was the
And
one.
you have another Caribbean over here on my side.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Yanni, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So tell me about how Yanni plays a part, because I know you guys are like partner in crime down here at Mad Creations.
Yeah, so it's a cool story how Yanni's part of the shop. He's been with me about 6 months officially, like pretty much full time at the shop. But our families actually know each other. So like I said, I'm Trinidadian, his family's Jamaican. So our parents have known each other. They were kind of known each other since the 90s here in the Atlanta area, doing different various businesses together in the quote unquote like woke scene, but before
Yeah.
it was called the woke scene, this is the conscious community.
conscious community.
The conscious
There you
community
go.
is what we
Yes.
call it. You know, the Rastafarians and
The Hebrew Israelites, the 5%ers.
right, all those
Muslims,
type
things
of people,
those
right?
natures.
Nice.
So our families were intertwined within that, and my father had always been a mechanic, like I said. So everybody knew my dad; he was always a mechanic guy. And so they were all talking about their kids. You know, that's with the kids, the next generation, about what they want to set us up to do.
Right.
Fast forward, I'm in Miami. Yanni's grown up here in Atlanta. My cousin, he is friends with him. So we had like, you know, they had the 6 degrees of separation
Yeah.
with Kevin Bacon. We had like 2 degrees.
Okay.
Times 2. So it was like there was 2 different ways we were going to run into
Right.
paths, and then we realized who we were. And I know his sister; she's best friends with my cousin.
Wow.
And I had just never met him, but I know his sister since we were
This
younger.
is predestined, basically.
Yeah. So and then he came back around. He's like, "Man, that's what I want to do," and he stopped. He just didn't stop showing up at the shop. Let me say that. He kept coming to the shop. It was just always there.
You knew your place and you wasn't going nowhere.
Well, he told me, you know, from the gate, like, hey, that nobody's gonna give you anything. He was like, you got to make a space for yourself. You know, one of the first things he always said to me, you know, a penny saved is a penny earned. If you could find something, you know what I'm saying, you could save me some time or save me some money, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? He said, you got to make it to the point where, you know what I'm saying, if you stop coming around, I'm like, damn, where's Johnny?
And so that's where the name Yanni on the spot came from.
Well, the name actually, he said the name actually came from a video game. I'm a big gamer, so when we
Okay.
get to the point where we're doing this, you know, on the big screen, on the big stage and everything, and everyone, you know, knowing our names in different sectors, I'm gonna, you know, be breaking away as a, you know, gamer
Right.
and stuff, because that's one of the things I enjoy doing, you know, as a hobby. So one of the games I played a lot was Grand Theft Auto, and in that game, you know, you had the option to, you know, call a car from wherever you were. You know, you pull up your phone, it's like, I need one of my cars. You go to your
Yeah,
garage.
Johnny on the
and
spot.
and that's what he said. He said, you need some wheels? I'm Johnny on the spot. And like he said, we were in the shop one day, and he'd been saying, he's like, you need to find, you know, a name for yourself so that, you know, you can start building your own brand within it. He's like, because I don't want to have workers. That's, you know, a big thing for Kanye, especially like people close to him like that. He's like, I don't want to just have you working for me and be giving you a paycheck. Like you said,
Right.
you teach a man, to, you know, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach him how to fish,
he eat
eat
forever.
for life. So, you know, that's the whole concept that he's putting out, is that, you know, I don't want to have you working for me. I want to show you how to do this and have you do it for yourself. And then you can work together in tandem, you know what I'm saying? Like that.
I think this is an awesome team. It's an awesome team to put the spotlight on, because even though, I mean, like, I'm talking to you and you're very knowledgeable about your business. This is your baby. This is your business.
Yeah.
You know, and then you added someone onto the business, which is Yanni on the spot. You know what I'm saying? I need
Give
me
me
a
what you
Yanni on
got.
the spot. I mean, you added Yanni, and Yanni came on, and, you know, like you said, he wasn't going to move. Like I
He had to
almost
show his
was
value.
He
Yeah.
showed his value. That's good. And that's the point that I like to put out here, guys, is that when I put the spotlight on the next who's who, it's people that's out here that's doing something that's positive. And when you're on go, you're gonna be a person that's already on go like Mad Creations was. And so when Yanni on the spot came, he blended in and they just took off running. It wasn't no, let me stop and let me show you, let me do this. It was just already ready to go.
It's like you said, it's a catalyst. If you know about chemistry and stuff, you can have an element that's perfectly docile, but once you add that catalyst, now it's explosive.
It's explosive. So let's tell the world about what type of cars do you guys work on? What are you doing down here at Mad Creations?
Okay, so the type of cars we're working on now is kind of part of him coming on board with my whole philosophy of things. Like I work on high-end cars, Corvettes, I mean, supercharged Camaros, Bugattis, like Lamborghinis, Audis, Mercedes-Benzes, all that type, Range Rovers, I mean, Jaguars, everything you could think of.
Yeah.
We also work on the regular cars too. I mean, we're not
I
discriminating
don't
out
see
here.
none of that on.
Old schools, we got
But
a Bronco in there
we got
right
a couple
now.
old schools, you know what I mean? Like, you know, we got some cars we're building for the Rick
Don't bring
Ross
my
car
old
show.
school down there.
But at the same time, so we're working on these cars, and I told Yanni, like, look, this is what it is. We're already moving, and I can't take the time to show you, and you can't learn on these people's cars. Like, if you're not comfortable with doing something, you gotta let me know. And whatever your skill set is, that's cool. We'll keep you there until we can build you up to a better skill set. Because a lot of what I do is kind of, I told him, I'm making it up as I go along to a certain extent. Like, a lot of it's custom, it's fabrication, like it's never been done before.
Right.
So there's no book to really go by. So I'm making the rule book as I go along. So I kind of told him, like, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I'm not gonna every day have a set of exactly what you're doing for the day,
Right.
but I'm telling you, this is what needs to get done. And there is more than one way to get there. This is how I know to get there, and you gotta figure out if you can mesh in with me in that sense. I can't slow down but too much to get you to mesh. And it's like, all right, if you ever driven a stick shift car, you gotta mesh that clutch, otherwise you grind that
gotta
gear.
know.
So it's
And
like,
on
all
point
right.
too.
Yeah, and so you gotta come in. We can't be grinding gears too much. If there's too much grinding, then it's not gonna make sense, and I'm gonna stall out. You're gonna stall me out as a business. And I was straightforward. I'm like, hey, I know it's a lot to say, and it's a big risk you may be taking, because I'm kind of saying you gotta commit,
Right.
and is a lot on the line, and for me as well. And so far,
Because these are real client cars.
yeah, today we were working on an 800 horsepower Corvette. I mean, 800 horsepower. This thing is a race car.
Which one, the C8 or
The blue one.
The
I mean,
blue
there's a
one.
couple of
I didn't
them.
work on the blue one today.
We
You
had-
worked on the
yeah,
blue one. I
we
worked
had-
on the brown one.
Yeah, we had 4 Corvettes in the shop
Okay.
today. You know, 2 guys came from out of town. So we had people come from out of town, and they're waiting in the shop for us. And so they're checking and they're walking, you know, if they come out to go to the restroom, they're passing by us. So they got to
Technically
see
3.
us working on their
Working on
cars
the
and
car.
looking like we know what we're doing. And we do, but you know, that's just kind of what it is. And a lot of times, like I said, if you don't have a rule book or something, you can look lost. And
Yeah.
you've all seen somebody when you go somewhere, you can go to
Right.
a restaurant
at somebody and
and
tell
you can
they
tell
don't know
they're
what
new
they're
on the
doing.
job.
Yeah, you can
And
tell.
so I told him from the beginning, yo, you can't look like you're new on the job. And I'm giving y'all this idea, like you can't look like you only been here a couple months, bro. You got to look like you've been
Like
doing
you've
this for
been
10
doing
years.
it.
You
So,
got
Yanni-
to. You got to.
So how do you jump in there and just do it? I mean, because how long have you been being a mechanic? How long have you been doing auto body?
So auto body and mechanics, like you said, not super long body. About 6 months prior to meeting him, my brother-in-law came from Jamaica. He's a big-time mechanic, master mechanic. But he just got here, so he didn't have the network and stuff that I do. Like you said, I said, I'm born and raised in Atlanta. I know a lot of people, and I know a lot of people that have cars and need cars
Right.
worked on. So when he got here, he was like, I need some work. This is his skill. So my skill is people, so meeting
Right.
people and connecting people. So I'm like, yo, let's go around. And eventually became, hey, get this wrench for me for, hey, turn that bolt.
Turn
For,
that
hey,
bolt.
you know what? You done did this enough times. You take that out. And then and like I said, as that happened, at that same time that happened, I started coming by Mad Creations. His cousin was a good friend of mine. He was coming to my house all the time. He kept mentioning Kahan. He's like, yo, you got to go meet Kahan. You got to go meet Kahan. He got this thing. He's like, he's trying to build this team. And he told me before I even met Kahan, he told me from the gate, he was like, yo, he's trying to find some people, which, just like me, can be built up to the team he wants it to be. So when I came into there, it was literally like, I've ever heard the term, it's like it's hard to fill a cup that's already full. In a lot of situations, you get a mechanic or somebody that knows what they're doing. It's like a lot of times you might feel like they know what they're doing more than they might feel like they know what they're doing more than you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's easier to fill someone that knows, like, hey, I know I'm skillful, I know I'm capable. And I know I'm comfortable enough around expensive cars from other experiences I've had valeting and stuff
Right.
that I can do this.
Right.
So, at that point, it's easier to fill it the way you want it to be filled. You know what I'm saying? Rather than having to unpack and reteach stuff, when you start with a blank slate, it's easier.
So you see yourself moving forward with this. This is something that you're passionate about, that you want to move forward and continue to stay in.
Yes, I will definitely be staying in the sector, and definitely for me, YANA on the Spot is going to end up being a multi-purpose company. So we'll be doing, not only custom cars and stuff like that, but, I have a lot of background in construction and general contracting and stuff. So that's one of the things I do. So that between that experience, general contracting, construction, which is something I did, a lot of Caribbean people, I huli pa baga.
What's the last time you do all them things?
Huli pa things I do naman. So from young, I was doing plumbing and drywall and electrical and stuff like that. 14, 15, work with my uncles and stuff. So when I turned 18 and 19 and was in college, I got a job working valet, and I valeted for about 10 years prior to meeting Kahan.
Okay.
So that gave me the comfortability being around these high-end cars. At 18, these guys throwing me the keys to his Lamborghini,
and
like,
you're
yo,
driving-
park it over there.
Right.
Here's $100. Park, make sure it's in the front. I'm like, all right, cool. So I got comfortable driving those cars like that.
Okay. So how do you get with Mad Cre8tions, I like the work that you do, guys, because if you go on their page on TikTok, Instagram, on Mad Cre8tions, you'll see the type of work that they do. And I mean, the wrappings, his wife is there sometimes, Talia, and they're putting on doors. I mean, it's awesome. How do you drum up this traffic to get these clients to come to Mad Cre8tions?
So word of mouth, honestly. And so that's something people have asked me. I get offers all the time. People want to advertise, put advertisement out there. I've always not advertised because whenever I get a lot of what I call tire kickers.
Yeah.
So people, if you ever have a car sale and at a car lot, everybody wants to come down and test drive the car.
Yeah.
And so where I'm at, I just don't have the time because I'm very passionate. So I'm gonna give everybody some time. I'm gonna talk to you. I tell people I don't do business with my enemies. So like you're
not just
gonna be a
selling
friend
it,
of mine. Yeah, you gotta be a friend of
build a
mine.
family relationship.
So I want to talk to you. I'm the car stylist, right? So I'm gonna style your car. I gotta see what your style is. So I gotta talk to you for a few minutes. So I'm gonna give you that time, and I'm not just like, oh, what you want? That I'm trying to get your money. Like, no, I want to make sure you're spending properly. And I'm straight up. I'll tell people if I have people come in and say they want to spend this much amount of money, I'm like, yeah, we could do all that for like half of it because you were doing it wrong. This
So
is how we
have a
go.
consultation with them.
Yeah, I have consultations, absolutely. So I absolutely have consultations. And that side of it allows me just to get in better with them and really understand. And they at the end of it, they'll tell me, look, I can tell you really know what you're talking about. Like, and they're enthusiasts. Most of my clients are already car enthusiasts. I'd say maybe 75, 25%. 75% of them are already car enthusiasts, have been in the game already. Probably about 25 are what I would call virgins. And I've kind of coined that. I call them car virgins, right?
Okay.
And so those are guys that finally got a little money, that they want to buy a car, they want to get into something, but they've never done it before. They've never actually pulled the trigger on real modifications. I'm talking about not just putting wheels on your car.
No, you taking.
I'm talking about you taking it apart.
Yeah.
You're doing things that your check engine light might come on. You're
Right.
voiding warranties now. That's what I'm talking about. So those guys, they don't know what that really entails, and that it's a hobby. You're not gonna get your money back. Yeah, you're gonna lose some value on your car if certain things you do, you're gonna keep your value, but they have to understand that. And so those guys, I've learned to have to deal with them differently than the guys that know what they're doing. And so when I do that consultation, I can kind of feel them out, see how I got to do with them. If they've already done this before and they already know me, it's much easier consultation. Just like, hey, what you want? This. You just need the numbers. Cool, bet. They're already like, here's the check. I know you're the dude. Just tell me when it's done. Wow. The other guys, you got to put a little more time, get them on the hook if they haven't heard about you. So I prefer those than the ones if I advertise and they
You prefer the ones that haven't heard about you.
I prefer the ones that got someone to tell them to come by me. Even so that's what I'm saying. 75 of those, the people that get referred, have done cars before.
Okay.
25 got referred, they haven't done cars before. But all my clients have been referred to me. I don't advertise. Like, it's literally all word of mouth advertising.
I love it. So now, when it comes to something like wrapping the car, what all entails in wrapping the car? Because I'm thinking like I can just go get some wrap and just throw it on. Is this an easy job or just?
It's more than one
What other type of services do you have down at Mac Creation?
So we're a full one-stop shop, and I've been a full one-stop shop for a long time. I mean, now everybody throws around the term full one-stop shop, but I've been really the actual definition of a full one-stop shop. You can bring your car in for any single thing and get everything done in there and get everything done. So I've told people, like, you know what the flea market is, right? You go to the flea market. So the flea market is a place you can go in there and get everything you need for yourself, right? You can go get food, you can get your eyes, your eyelashes done, your hair cut, shoes, nails, everything, right?
Yeah.
Car even. So I want to be the flea market for cars, in a sense, where you can just bring your car to that shop and you can get your tints, your suspension done, your interior, your upholstery, some audio, everything like that. So I've been building that for a good while. And the basic things with the more complicated things have been where most shops split. They either stick to just doing the simple stuff like the wraps and the lights, or they go full out and they're doing the big builds. I've been trying to, put the two of them.
Bring it all in together.
Right. But to answer your question about with the wraps, so the wraps kind of, if you're really doing a wrap correctly, a lot of these lower end shops, they don't take the cars apart, because that's why I said that divide, they're staying on the easier end. They're like, we're just gonna put a sticker on your car. It's basically what most of these wrap jobs are. There's stickers on the car. They take a sticker, they put it on top of your car. We're taking the car apart. So you'll see videos where we're pulling cars apart.
Individually doing the door.
We're taking the door off, we're taking the fender off,
hood.
if we're changing it, and we're actually wrapping it. And that part, that's the heavier end. You gotta know about cars now and know how to take them apart, and now be good at body work, because you know what a wrecked car, how it comes apart and puts back together.
Right.
And when you put it back together, how to line up those lines. So that's where our services are gonna be a few notches above somebody else's, because we have the body shop side knowledge of it to be able to take your car apart this fast, where someone else is taking the same amount of time to just tuck it in behind the thing that's in their way, and we're like, yo, just take it apart.
And it's eventually going to peel, because you can't see behind there in order to
exactly.
know.
And so that's
you're basically customizing. This is something.
Yeah, it's full customizing. We're fully changing it. And when I bring Yanni in, that's one of the things I was really kind of teaching them, showing them, like, look, we're not, and I tell them daily, we're not taking the shortcut. I said, we're not taking the shortcut. We're going to go the long way. We're not going to do the shortcut, because the shortcut's going to come back. You don't want to see that car coming back unless they're come back for some
Now, have
work.
you guys had it in the current, Yana, have you come to a point to where you was working on a car and you just didn't know, and you like slid one in? Don't worry about him. Have you gotten to a point where you saw something where you were like, I can just like kind of fix it or whatever, or it was difficult and you just had, or how has it been for you thus far? Since it's been 6 months.
It's, it has ups and downs. It's just like any other industry, any other job. There are definitely a lot of times that I feel, like he said, feel like, damn, I'm slowing him down, because I'm like, hey, Kahan, look at this before I do it.
Yeah.
Because, you don't want to mess anything up. But as we've had a couple other people come in since then, and when you see other people come in, it's like, oh wow, I have learned something, because they're asking me. I'm like, oh well, you just get the T15, you take out these two bolts right here, it'll pop right out. And it's like, oh well, I guess you would know that if you haven't done 6 other cars. I was just thinking about it actually when we came in here. I feel like since I've been there, I've probably touched over $1 million worth of cars.
Wow.
Most likely, like, because we do 5 or 6. No, we've done at least 2 or 3 dozen Lambo doors alone since I've been there.
Wow.
And that's maybe on the low end. But when it comes to doing certain things that I haven't done before, it's just a matter of like being confident, and I learned that skill from other things I've done in life, valeting. The main thing I learned to be confident was from coaching. They told me, refereeing soccer, they told me, at the end of the day, when you make a call, you got to stand behind it. Good or bad, that's you made that call, So the confidence when you're doing stuff is a big deal, because one of the main things, the first thing we do is the door panels, taking out the door panels. And the first like 4 or 5 door panels I took off, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna break it. I feel like I'm about to break it.
Wow.
And he's like, don't.
Why do you feel like it's gonna break it?
Because of the way it comes off.
No, it's the clips. So the Corvettes, it's door clips are meant to. It's like a mushroom shape, so they're meant to kind of like an arrowhead. You ever seen how an arrow go into something?
Like,
it's not easy to pull an arrow out. If you think about this. If an arrow goes into you, you don't pull it out slow. You have to yank it out.
You don't pull it out
That's
at all.
First, well,
you break if it goes all the way through, you break that aside and pull it out.
Well, if you have to pull anything that goes into you with the barb, if you have to pull it out, you got to pull it out quick. You pull it out slow, it's going to do way more damage.
It's going to tear.
So it's that concept with the door panels, because it's kind of a barb in a sense, and if you pull it out slow, you'll break it. So I told him like you have to like just breathe in 1, 2, 3 like a chiropractor. It's literally like some chiropractor. Like you'll see him like how they like crack and you have to just pull it. I've got a video of my wife Talia. It's on my
Now
TikTok.
your wife, Talia.
She did a video on purpose where she scared a client away. He was watching us and he didn't leave yet. He's like, I'm waiting for my Uber. And so she's like, watch this. She goes, takes the door panel off. She goes in real quick. She pops it. And I caught him on camera. He said, oh, all right, I'm leaving. I'm out. He said, I'm out. Oh God, I gotta go.
She tore her car up. But that girl, let me tell you something. The wife of him, honey, I love watching Miss Talia.
And she had to come show him. He's doing it slow. She's like, no.
Yeah, no.
Pop, this is what you gotta do.
And it sounds crazy. It sounds
But
so
that's what it
crazy.
is.
The first time you ever hear one of those Corvette door panels come off,
Ripped it apart.
like literally, it's like click because it's like 2 clips on this side, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the left side, and then the rail at the top that's holding in. And so you literally just got to get your fingers up under there and like 1, 2. And
this
you
is
hear them all pop at the
car.
same time.
These are brand new $100,000 cars.
Exactly.
Like, they don't have 5,000 miles on
pop
them.
it for me every time. Then I operate it. But
you notice from like you said, a lot of the customers don't realize what all goes in the car. The other day, a guy bought a Corvette. It was funny enough. He bought a Corvette from the Corvette dealership. Or I don't know if it was a dealership.
It was a dealership.
He bought a Corvette.
It was used from a dealership.
It was used from the dealership, but it had doors on it already. Older guy, he's like, they're cool, but I don't like it. It's not for me. Calls around, gets the Kahan to take the doors off. He comes back. I was like, yo, I'm pretty sure this is a really nice install. I think I did this install. And he basically does the math. He's like, yeah, he did do the install.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. And they looked great, looked amazing. Like literally looked like maybe we might have done it a couple months ago because the grease kind of set and started, weathering and stuff, of course. So it didn't look like we did it yesterday, but it looked good. And either way, we're reversing it, to people who are asking again, yes, it can be reversed to stock. We're reversing it for the guy, that essentially is the same job as putting them on. So we got to take the fenders off and everything. We take the fenders off, we put them on the stands in front of the shop. Guy comes out the shop, he's like, oh man, you got to take the fenders off. You taking the car apart? I was like, yeah, man, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's a virgin. That was a car virgin. He was a car virgin. He'd never been there.
So he's thinking that, see guys, Mad Creation take their time and they advertise their stuff the right way because they're taking care of it properly. So these people are thinking that they're just going to be a quick fix and let me just wrap around here. And take
He was like, I'll wait on it. I'm like, sir, it's going to be 6 hours.
So this is why you have to put the spotlight on the next who's who, because these guys are actually properly taking care of your property because it's expensive. These cars are not to be played with. They're high-end cars.
Yeah.
So appreciate the fact that they're taking it off and applying it properly. But like you said, it's hard when they hear the pop, 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 because I have another friend guy, they do windows and you'll think they're like breaking the windows apart.
So for shops and customers, you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing because we just had the client come in last week and this shop is about to be in crazy hot boiling water because they thought, they tried to take on something that they weren't ready for.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'll let him talk about, the legal part. I'm just going to say they messed up. I know they messed up.
Yeah, I was going to say.
The day he came in, as someone who's only been doing this for 6 months or so, but is lucky enough to be learning under him. The stuff I've learned, when he came in the car, he called me that morning, was like, Yanni, look, you're going to have to look at this car. We come in, it's going to be hilarious. You're going to look at it and be like, yo, oh my God. And I did. And honestly, I
got a video reaction.
I wouldn't even be able to fully do the install, but just knowing what I know, I'm looking at the install like, that's wrong. Whoa,
so the
that's really wrong.
Correcting somebody else's stuff. How do you operate with that?
This is we may wrap up with this, but this is to kind of show people the hard way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some people have to learn the hard way, but this guy was a virgin going into it and went around trying to be the cheapest, go to the cheaper spot and not wait. Long story short, he wanted to get the vertical doors installed. The #1 installer in the world. Not the country, not the city, not the state, the world. Like, I seriously am. I call people out when I see bad installs. I was at the Rick Ross car show. I called somebody out on the bad car show. I've called shops out here in Atlanta. This particular shop, I ain't gonna say their name right now, but y'all can follow me on TikTok at The Car Stylist and you'll definitely see that story. But I'm calling the shop out because they really messed this man's car up. They cut his fenders into place. He's gonna have to you can't even fix it. It's not even I can adjust it out. They cut his fenders, they cut some parts on the inside. He's gonna have to get, we're talking about honestly $20,000, $25,000 worth of damage for, a $5,500
You make me
job.
want to call their name. I tell me in my ear.
So no, and then and they know they messed up. They know they put a person that didn't have any experience to do the install. They already kind of admitted it. They're kind of screwed, and so people end up learning the hard way, coming and seeing me after they finally do their research because I don't advertise. So I might have to advertise because me not advertising, people is kind of like going to the people that are advertising and they're getting messed up instead of doing their research. And at the same time, though, I kind of do want you to do some research. I'd rather you find me, but so it's a double. I don't know. This is where I'm like, I don't know what to do. I want you to come find me because then I know you're really interested.
And I'm not.
But at the same time, I don't want someone else to have more money in advertising and then get your money. And that one bad apple spoils the bunch because you're at a car show now and someone else who knows what it is looks at it and like, yeah, I was gonna get these doors done, but I don't think I want to get them done. And I have people that I'm losing money. That's taking money out of my pocket. So this is where then I'm like, nah, I'm calling these people. It's like you got plastic.
You gotta call them out.
Yeah,
if you don't,
it's quack doctors.
And some of it's dangerous. And some of it's dangerous.
Some of them is
we had
safety issues.
that what was it, the Dodge that came in with the wires?
Wiring,
oh my
wires
God.
touching could cause a fire.
I did electrical for a little while before I came into this as one of the many bags I was holding.
Right.
And just from knowing that, the way they pinch these wires through this plastic thing, it's like I felt it because he told me to disconnect everything when we went in. And the wires were like hot.
And these are
like they were about to start fire.
These are shops that because they're advertising.
And these cars can blow up on people.
They can definitely catch fire.
They can catch
definitely
fire.
Catch fire. Depending on where the fire is at,
position.
that could end up being an explosion. Yeah.
And so that's the scary part. And so what that does is that scares people that were on the fence or were in that virgin category that hadn't done anything before. And they're like, yeah, you know what? I'd rather not. I'm gonna leave it how it is because I can go to the dealership and go get my warranty because that's the next thing people think when I start doing stuff, I got no warranty, I can't go to the dealership. That's not always true as well. Warranty? I warranty my work. I definitely stand behind my work. You have an issue, you bring it back to me, I'm gonna take care of it, I'm fix it. I'm not going to. I've been Mad Cre8tions for 19 going on 20 years right now. You can Google that, you've always been able to Google that.
No, I love your TikToks because you guys do an amazing job. And they keep it fun, guys. It's so funny. He's talking, they're doing stuff, and I mean, they keep you engaged, and that's what I like about it. So far with your work. And another thing that I like about you and Mad Cre8tions and what Talia do and Yanni, what you guys do, is you make sure that, like you say, he's taking care of the product when some people out here don't. So guys, I'm telling you, dive into Mad Cre8tions because they actually take care of your product. And you have a high-end car. This is your baby. This is basically like your best investment. You know what I'm saying? So is it anything that you want, I know we got time, but is it anything that you look for your clients to have or to be for their cars in a certain way? So when you work on them or knowledge, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait because they gotta have some shmoney. The white folks in the audience talking about y'all gotta have some shmoney.
And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I used to kind of beat around the bush with that. But now I'm kind of like straight up, look, I'm be honest with you, what's your budget? Because if you can straight up tell me what your budget is, then I can tell you where your budget can get you. I tell me what your goals are. So this is why I have that consultation that we mentioned earlier. I'm gonna sit down and be like, well, things like, what's your favorite color? Where do you like to hang out at? What music do you like? These are things, so you remember the show Pimp My Ride? So I like to tell people, look, Pimp My Ride was fake. I'm just calling it, Pimp My Ride was fake, okay? Hey, I know Mad Mike personally. I met Mad Mike in LA a couple weeks ago. He's a cool dude, but it was a fake show. But I'm doing this for real. And he then gave me his blessing, like, yo, you doing this thing for real, big dog. Like, check my Instagram, like, he's on there. So, I'm doing it for real, and I really sit down and I really have that real consultation, and I'm talking to you about what you really want to do, and I'm gonna tell you this is how far your money can get you, and this is the best order to get to your ultimate goal. You may have it this season, we do this. Next season is something else, because the car stylist, who I am, I style your fashion of your car, right? I'm gonna say this thing because it's something I like to say to people. I style you like a stylist will style your clothes, right? But the thing is, you don't wear the same clothes every day. You got to drive the same car every day, right? So here, look at it like this. Think about this. Think about this.
Look,
You change your drawers. You're supposed to change your underwear every day, right? Then you're supposed to change your clothes every day, and change your clothes every day, right?
Even your hair every couple months.
And you're okay, but check this out. You can get away with the coat or a jacket a couple days in a row, right? Like you can wear the same jacket if it's a fly. If you spend a lot of money in a jacket, I'm gonna wear this jacket for a couple days, but you can't wear it in the summertime though. Right? But your car, every single day, you gotta come up, you gotta pull up with the car. And they see you pulling up. So the car has to be the number one thing. Look, you could jump out looking like a bum if your car is fly.
That car fly.
I've learned that. I've learned that. If you could pull up dressed in white tee with the G like Mark Zuckerberg, they don't care.
Child.
You pulling up in a Bugatti. So that's the thing. You could pull up in a Honda Civic and they be like, yo, who the hell is that? Because and you gonna look like it's $1 million. They're gonna question, what is it? So that's where I decided to create my niche and make people realize, like, yeah, that's true. The car gotta be dope. It gotta be fly. So I wanted to be like, yo, Kahan did that. The car stylist, that's the car. That's a
your
mad
tag
creation.
on it. You can look
That's
at
a
the
mad creation right
tag.
there. Yeah.
Bad creation,
I'm telling you.
creation.
Guys, y'all got to
Exactly.
get out here and do y'all thing. Mad Creation is out here popping. Please tell us where y'all are located.
So
And your
we
social media
just moved to a really dope shop. We're off of Highway 85, right south of the airport, Forest Park, Riverdale area. You can follow us on all social media at The Car Stylist, TikTok, Instagram, and Mad Creations with an 8 instead of an A. MADCRE 8 TIONS, madcreations.net. Like I said, at The Car Stylist, I'm The Car Stylist. We styling your car like you get stylists to style your clothes.
I like that. You style your clothes so you can style your car, and we can dress that car up. Now, about how much is it, like, doing that? How much is it to...
So I've always maintained.
basic.
I've always maintained that I do everything from small to big. So anything as small as, let's say you just want to get your initials embroidered in your headrest.
Yeah.
You want to get a vinyl sticker put on your window, right? Because if you go into a parking lot and it happens to be 5, 6 of the same car, you just kind of want to know which one is yours. People do this. They do beep to find their car. If
Yeah.
there's 5 Corollas there, 5. But if you now had a little vinyl on it, a little
Signature.
something, you know, you can come in and spend $100 and make your car look like your car. Here's another thing. One of my other slogans is making your car more you. Okay, because I'm gonna make your car more you. That's part of the consultation. I'm gonna sit down and make your car more you. I'm gonna say, hey, look,
Beamer down.
I can see you might not be a flashy person. Some people are not flashy people, so they don't
Yeah.
want their car to be flashy. Some people are not flashy people, but they want their car to be flashy.
Right.
Then some people are flashy, want their car to be flashy,
Yeah.
and finally some are flashy and want their car not to be
Not
flashy.
flashy.
And you have to figure out who's what and not just assume because he's flashy, he wants the car flashy. Because maybe he doesn't want the car to take attention away from him or she. And so I have to figure out all of those things. And so that's part of being a stylist.
That's Mad Creations.
Those are the Mad Creations. That's really the stylist part of it. And that's
Because
what
I never would have thought about nothing like that.
it's fashion. This is high fashion. These guys are spending money in cars way more than what women are spending in clothes and their hair. And I don't think women even half know about it. My wife will tell you, like half of these guys, they come to us like, look, if my wife asks, I spend $5,000, okay? Not 10.
Right.
I've had guys give me
Yeah.
extra money to
make
write
it
me
keep
another
quiet.
invoice. Like, look, send me another invoice.
Yeah.
Don't tell her about the other invoice. Or they're like, hey, I got you on the side. Here's the cash, is half of it in cash, and the wife knows the invoice.
Yeah.
Put the cash, like, hey, look, and they're paying me what I want. They ain't asking for no
Look
discount.
at God. And here we thought women, we hiding stuff in the trunk and put it in the back of the closet.
Nah,
Y'all
both
come home and
sides
say,
doing
it's
it.
been there.
I know you've seen the video on Instagram.
Yeah,
So, honey, he gave me to me. He gave it
It
to
was
me.
free. It was
How much
free.
it cost? He gave it to me.
It was free.
It was
Yeah.
given.
See me, give it to me. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm telling you. So tell me, we're about to wrap it up, guys. I love it. I know we have another guest, and what's so amazing is the next guest is actually Mr. Kahan's daughter, and she is amazing. Her name is Queen, and we're going to interview her in 2.5 seconds, guys. It is amazing, I tell y'all. So if you had anything to say to the audience right now, what would you like your people to know about Mad Creations?
So Mad Creations is definitely going to be leaving their mark. I named my company without the name car in it at all, automotive, because I don't just do that. I'm also a professional DJ. I'm into a lot of things. Like she said, my daughter's about to come on the show. She's into things. My wife is multi-talented with a whole lot of things. So we're just creators, you know. And the cars was just kind of what I was handed into. I was born into that, and that's my best way of getting money in my family's pocket. But yeah, we're just out here changing the game and really putting some respect, you know, on our name, you know, as far as the people is concerned, doing it for the culture, so to speak. Because I'm kind of usually the only person that looks like me when I'm at the table with most people sometimes, in some of these corporate owners.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to change that, you know,
nice.
trying to change that and show that, you know, there's more to this car game than just big wheels,
Yeah.
loud music, and
Yeah.
going fast. So we're taking them
business.
cars apart. It's a business, and it's technical side to this. Like I went to school for engineering. I was on a NASA scholarship. NASA paid for me to go to school. Yeah, no, NASA paid for me to go to school. The president signed my scholarship. There's 15 people that got the president signed. It was a presidential scholarship. So, you know, I tell people I can build you a rocket ship. So building a car, I could do with my eyes closed, honestly. So And that's what I want people to know. Like, we're out here really designing these things properly, making your car more you, and and taking your dreams and making them into reality.
Now,
That's what
see,
we're doing.
that's what I'm talking about. Putting the spotlight on the next who's who, and Mad Creation is out here doing that thing. The baby was the engineer, and then he got YANA, honey, and you can't go nowhere without YANA because you're going to be messing up because that baby catch on quick, okay? Listen, I love it, guys. We love to put the spotlight on the next who's who. Please patronize Mad Creations. Get out there to Forest Park. Take your Ferrari. And if you don't have the high top end cars,
You can bring a bike.
You can bring a bike. You can come get my car out
Get
my
some custom
yard.
decals on and make it look nice.
I've painted bicycles. I painted refrigerators.
You know what,
I had
you better
somebody.
go.
I custom painted a refrigerator. Hey, I
Refrigerator
custom
with some
painted a
wheels on it.
refrigerator. I custom painted a refrigerator, put a graphic on it, painted and everything. I did a safe before. I've done a
Yeah, I'm about to
bicycle.
start wrapping
Yeah.
toilets and sinks
can
and
wrap a
bathrooms.
toilet,
We're doing
yeah.
a whole
No,
set.
seriously,
Get the
yeah.
rugs
Y'all
and the
not
curtains.
playing. Y'all not
stuff.
pulling
we
out of leg.
No, we can gold.
I'm
We can
for real, that's what I'm saying.
Gold
Just like he
wrap
said.
your toilet.
Just like he said, Yanni on the spot. I came up with that name in the idea, like he said, to
Yeah.
not be limited to just doing cars. This is what I'm doing now. This is something I'm going to get good at. And I'm not going to stop doing it, but I'm going to be doing other stuff as well. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, God, I love it. I'm telling you, Chew and Chat with Yana Lou, we love to put the spotlight on the next who's who, and we love to push you towards your goals and dreams here at APAP Media. We are at 5295 Stone Mountain Highway, Suite W in Stone Mountain, Georgia. If you have an idea or if you have something that you want the spotlight on or you want your story told, please make sure you patronize APAP Media. That is info@apapmedia.com, and you can go on APAP Media all day long on any social media handle, baby, and it will say APAP Media. And tap into us, get your show advertised, get what you have done, interviewed by Yana Lou, and come on down and have fun with us. We'll be right back live 5 and 2.5 in just a minute.